Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from my tiny home, my 16-foot wolf pup camper made by Forest River. There's one of my pals over there. They're always coming by and visiting me when I come out of the camper, thinking I got some food for them. They only ate an hour ago. Anyway, I was gonna just show you guys a couple of things about how maintenance-free living in a camper is versus all the stuff that goes along with owning a home. And it's not to say that owning a home is better or worse. It's just simply that how simple, living in a camper trailer. Now, if you could afford a much larger one or one with slide outs on it, they even have them with 2 and 3 slide outs, and you have a big enough vehicle to pull it, such as a big Ford or Chevy truck, diesel engines and all that can do that, of course. But it's like my son used to say when I lived in California and we had a sand rail and a motorhome. A lot of people had dirt bikes out there and quads and different things, but the people that were really cool had a motorhome and a sand rail. And so my son says, Dad, once you get the motorhome and the sand rail, you're at the top. Then it's just about who's got the bigger and the better motorhome and sand rail. So I'm at the top. I've got a tow vehicle, I've got a camper, and so I'm there. It's just that some people have them much longer and bigger and slide outs and all that. Got another little friend down here. They're all hanging out. How could that be comfortable laying on the rocks? Huh? All right, ignore me. Some people have asked about what do I do for my sewer. Well, it's very simple. When you go to a campground, an RV park, or whatever, all motorhomes, all RVs have a, how you doing? Have a valve like this underneath. And this is black, and that is gray. Gray water is known to be, not known to be, it is your sink and shower and, just regular soapy water. So that stays open all the time. So it doesn't build up into a tank and hold itself because I'm parked. These guys are rubbing up against me. What are you doing? Huh? I got nothing for you. What do you want? Okay. These are my pals. They know who feeds them. So anyway, back to the valve. You keep this one open, and then when I take a shower and wash dishes, whatever, the water just goes right on out. It never holds up, never builds up, no weight, no problem, nothing like that. And then this one you leave closed because in the toilet, your black water, your sewer, you don't want to leave it open, especially with the valve over here open, because then you've got contamination. It won't really go back up into the sink or anything, but you do get odors and stuff like that. But the main purpose of keeping it closed until it really builds up into that holding tank under there is when you close that one first and get ready to open this one to drain it, because you use paper and different products in the tank, it has a lot of water with it too. You want everything to really just flush out good. So when it's built up and you pull that out after you close your gray tank, it'll just really come out really well, and it cleans it out good because all the water comes out with it. But if I just left it open, all the water would come out and the solids would just sort of stay behind, you know what I mean? Not to get too descriptive. So if you don't know that, if you have an RV, do not leave this open when you're at a campground, when you're camping all week. Absolutely close that. And in a few days, depending on how many people you're camping with, or a week, and how much you've used your toilet, if you don't use a shower toilet or whatever at the campground, come and pull that. First, close your gray water tank off and let that all come out with that fluid so that it gets it all out of there. And then close it back off. And then, of course, what you do is you go into your bathroom in your RV and you buy these little pellets they look like laundry soap things in a little plastic, and the plastic dissolves and all the powder comes out, and that dissolves the paper and brings the odors down and works really well at everything. And you don't even know. It's just like a regular home toilet. So anyway, that's how that works. And then RVs have these jacks right here. These are not leveling jacks. These are called stabilizer jacks. So you say, what's the difference? Well, stabilizer jacks are just to be wound down, and these guys, you wind them down and then give them a little extra wrench so that they're solid. So when you walk around inside, you're not springing around, you don't feel the coach moving around. But you first got to get it level. And what you do, I have a single axle camper. So to get it level, you would simply back the tires, which is, I got a blue cover over my tire there. You would back the tire over a little board or something to make sure it's level this way. And then to get the camper this way level, front to back, that's simply done with this right here. And I have an electric one. And then I have these little levels right here. As you can see, I have it intentionally a little bit this way so that when I shower, the water won't come off my tub down onto the floor, but it's basically level. But these kinds of jacks here, these leveling jacks, stabilizer jacks, you don't want to crank them too hard to use them to try to lift the camper up. They're not that strong. These are just so that you have a good floor, and when you're walking around, you're not feeling the suspension and everything moving around. So that's what those are. Some big motorhomes have a, where's that other guy at? Where are you at? They have these electric ones that go down that are literally like big Class A motorhomes like the movie stars have. And they will actually do all of the leveling and make the stabilization all in one. But this is just a little 16-foot camper. And then on my steps, the newer ones have a built-in thing on the bottom here that kind of gives it a floor stabilization. But I use this CVS Block there, so that when I step on it, see, I'm not really stressing these joints and making this thing bend. So I'm trying to take care of it. Someone told me that I should move the block here, flip it around. It would be stronger on the integrity, but it's pretty strong now. All right, guys. You're really loving me because I give you some food, huh? All right. And then, of course, this is a great thing to have. If you don't have one, you have an RV or a nice big truck or something, this platform, these legs fold up. This is a 40-inch. You get it at Harbor Freight. It's solid. It has little braces right here to keep the legs from collapsing on you. They kind of come out a little bit. Very helpful for, getting up on top of beside my 4Runner and getting on top of that basket rack to get to things. And then I got my grill. I just kind of left it out away from the camper. And I love now how I went and got this extra tank that my landlord loaned me. I went and got some gas in it, some propane, and I just turned the valve on and I just hit the little igniter and boom, lights right up. I cooked a steak on it last night. It was fantastic. And I have this LED light right up here and an amber light. And at night, this LED lights up very nice around here for security. If I need to walk out here to the back of the 4Runner, and I turn that out, and I'll leave this little amber light on here that kind of gives me some flood lighting. That's really nice to have. And there's my front tag that I took off the front. It's hot. I've got to get a shower and go to work. Today it's a Mom Saver coupon day. All I'm going to be doing is handing out coupons. No food, no drink, no nothing. Just standing there handing out coupons. Well, man, I'll tell you, 2016 model, never been towed. Well, when I say that, basically it hasn't, because the people that owned it before me used it 4 or 5 times, he told me, maybe 6 times. It's a 2016. I towed it here from North Carolina, and that's where it's sat. That's where it's been for about, I think May was a year. So 14 months. But very soon, I even bought my, that's what this is. This is a what do you call a stabilization trailer hitch. That's not the right word for it. What's it called? It's a Hall Master, and it equalizes the tongue weight. Instead of this going down the ball of the back of my truck right here, and then sagging my truck down. I mean, hang on. This is gonna, it has things that connect to here to, from here, they connect onto this. And anyway, it keeps the truck from sagging down like this when I tow. It keeps me level. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it. You can tell me in the comments. But it's never been used. I bought it. I was going to do some traveling with it, maybe go do some camping. And I haven't used it yet, but it's ready to go. As you can see, it's all fresh paint. This is a new gizmo. All the balls and all that have been tightened up and torqued to where they should be. All these here. Weight distribution hitch. Weight distribution hitch. I got it. So this will come out. This is a recovery thing if you're off-roading, to pull you out of a stuck situation. And I have another piece, of course, right here. This goes in the slot. It goes in that hole right there. And then there's these chain things that connect to this, that hold it up somehow. They're all inside my little storage thing here. But anyway, thanks for viewing the tiny home here, the 16FQ. That's what it's called, by Forest River. The 2016 model. It's probably the most coolest small camper. It has the longer awning that most of them don't have. It has a 26-inch wide door that most of them don't have. And it has a 6.5-foot ceiling inside that most small campers don't have. And that makes a world of difference when you're inside, of how small they feel. And what's really great about this one too, this is an option, is this folds down and that tire stays right on there, my spare. And when that folds down, you can put, those are my totes over there, the blues and the blacks. They can either go on top of that or on the roof basket up there. So that's like I said, that's an option, and I have it on there. And it also has the very nice aluminum wheels that I'll show you. Some of them have just a regular steel rim. These are sort of the mag wheels. It's a handsome rim. I don't cover that tire because the sun really doesn't hit it to, dry rot it, but I have this one covered with that tarp. But because they are the original tires and it has sat for several years, if I travel with this, even though they look brand new and they don't really have dry rot, I'm probably, just for peace of mind, a couple of tires aren't that expensive. I'll take it to the tire place around town, and I'll have 2 tires installed. Probably they can do that in 30 minutes. Jack her up while it's on the back of the truck, pull those off. And the only other thing that I have to add that I don't have with this camper to tow it is, I was watching some YouTube videos this morning. There's a little thing called a brake controller that goes inside my truck, and it works through the trailer wires that you hook up that gives me my lights, in the back. And when I hit my brake, these actually have brakes in the axle. I think anything that's over 2,000 pounds, whatever the law is, has trailer brakes. So right now, when I brake around Florida where it's flat and I'm going slow enough, I'm having to stop a 3,000 pound camper that can hold 1,000 pounds worth of stuff in it. So I'm having to stop 4,000 pounds pushing behind me. Now, it's not that difficult, but if I were coming down a huge grade in the mountains and traveling around the country, and I had to slow down considerably and everything, as you can imagine, pushing the 4,000 pounds, pushing it is pretty tough on my brakes, not to mention tough on the brakes, but dangerous. So to have its own brakes is absolutely mandatory. So it's not a very expensive item. You buy it, it's a little control box, and it works electronically. I've watched a couple of videos this morning. I'm going to get it done. I think it's called a red arc. That's kind of a popular one, and it seems to install within 30 minutes, not too difficult, under the dash of my 4Runner, and goes right to the wiring harness, which is, you know, where's my wiring harness? They're right here. This big plug. This plug, that's my battery, plugs into the 4Runner. Right here. Right there. It has a little small one too, but I use the big one. And also that big one, when I'm running my truck, is charging this battery. Isn't that cool? So when I disconnect and I get to a campground, if I don't plug in electric, I do have power, you know, at a truck stop or anything, to run lights. I have a pump that's underneath here. If I want to turn on the water, and I carry my own water in a tank underneath the camper, it'll pump water for me. But otherwise, when I get somewhere where I need electric, this is my electric plug right here. I've got it plugged into the house. And that goes, as you can see, it reaches pretty far, comes around, and then screws right into the camper. So there's my water, there's my electric, and there's my sewer. Those are the three things, what they refer to as full hookups, when you get to any RV park or campground, that you definitely want to have. And then you're just like at home. You have infinite water. You don't have to carry any. You have infinite electric because it's included in your camping fee. And you have no problem about dumping and draining your gray water and your black water. And when you're done camping, you just hook up and go down the road 200 or 300 miles, see the country, and just keep crushing it.